What's going on YouTube? So I've decided that I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I am going to see if I can get a heat cycle out the way with my OBR motor. I have bought myself the V2 34cc full mod Reed case, and I have put that in, and there are a couple things that I just like to do before get the heat cycle out the way. One of the things that a lot of newbie RC guys miss out on is setting the endpoints for your throttle and brake, steering and so forth. So I haven't got my steering set up just yet, but what I have done is I have adjusted my throttle linkage. I've adjusted my throttle linkage because the angle of the carb in a Reed case is not the same as the piston port motor. So what I had to do is undo these little collars over here and just shift everything around until I had it all in place. You got to switch on your car and zero out your servo before you connect the servo horn. So once you've got it all switched on and your servo horn is zeroed out, then you can go ahead and start adjusting all of this to make sure that you don't burn up your throttle servo. And also you're also going to make sure that the throttle hammer on this side of the car isn't overextending itself. So you can see there that when the throttle comes down, it is not touching 100%. There's a small gap. So this is what you want. So when you're adjusting your endpoints, you've got to make sure that when you're pressing the brake, like I'm doing the brake now, that the throttle hammer is not moving, and when you put full taps, that the hammer isn't touching the throttle body, because if it's touching the throttle body, you're overextending your throttle servo and you'll burn it out. The next thing I'd like to do is change the clunker. So this is the fuel filter that sits in the fuel tank, and I'm guessing this has never been changed. So I have an unused one, and this came stock with a Zenoa motor. So I'm just going to pause the vid quickly and just get that changed. Great, so I have changed it over. The old one is not looking very happy. So I'm pretty happy that I've got that changed over. So now that I've got it changed over, I can fuel up. And see if we can get this motor started. Okay, so I'll put that back in there. There was one more thing that I just wanted to mention, is the pipe that I have on my car is a Dominator pipe, a V1, and while I really like the look of it, it actually fills up the back of the car. It adds a bit of bling, and so far with the Zen 32, it has been quite a decent pipe. Performance has been great, sound is great, but there is an issue. So here I have my Kraken cage, and the way this pipe works, if you bolt the cage on, the pipe comes through there. The pipe comes through there, and happy days. So what you'd need to do is you'd need to bolt the cage on first and then install the pipe. So if you ever want to remove the cage, you have to uninstall the pipe. And I don't know if I'm entirely happy with that. So I'm going to be upgrading the pipe so that I can have the pipe on the inside of the cage instead of on the outside of the cage. So if I ever need to remove my cage, I don't need to uninstall the pipe to do this. So that's just one of the things that I've got. Yeah, I've got a wheel underneath the chassis over here, just to so that I don't get a complete runaway, which I'm not expecting I will. Let's just turn this car upside down, or on its side, so we can have a look underneath. So I bought the modified RC rear chassis plate. I've got it stuck on there, and it's damn good. It looks real meaty compared to the original. All the nuts and bolts have been countersunk, and then what I noticed over here with the fan cover bolts is it has been drilled out so it will accept a CY fan cover or a Zenoa fan cover. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware that the bolt spacings are slightly different. It also has another hole for the clutch housing bolt at the bottom over there, but I'm not sure which one that is. It might be, yeah, I'm sure if you've got a different clutch housing, it would accept the other bolt. I've got the Turtle Racing GR32 clutch housing on this, so everything seems to be bolting up quite nice. My Team Fat Dad heavy duty braces, and I've got those on both sides as well. There's the other one, and then I also, if you guys didn't notice from the previous vid, I have the fan cover bracket as well. Right, let's get some fuel in this and see if we can get it cranked over. I'm just going to pause while I fuel it up. I am running a 25:1 fuel, so let me just fuel that up and let's see what happens. So I didn't completely fill it, probably filled it maybe about a quarter. I'm only going to do a 15-minute heat cycle to begin with. I just couldn't help myself. I've never had the Reed motor before, so I'm really keen to hear what it sounds like. The next thing I'm going to do is I am just going to reset my carb. I've got the 1107, so I'm just going to return it back to factory setting on the low and high needles. Turn it back to 0, and on the 1107 the factory setting is 1 full turn and 3/8. So we do half a turn, full turn, 1/4, 3/8, and on the high needle it's 1 7/8. So you go 1 7/8 is almost 1 but not quite. It's to there, And then what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to turn up the idle screw just to begin with, just to see what that sounds like. So I'm going to prime the bulb. I've never started this motor, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm assuming that everything's going to go like clockwork. Let's see what happens. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we just want to engage the throttle, the choke. Okay, so let's pull some gas through. Compression is pretty good. Okay. So I have now had my car running for 15 minutes, and I was quite impressed the way it started up as quickly as it did. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. And also what's quite interesting is after 15 minutes of running, that carb is there's no heat in the carb whatsoever. Yeah, I was very impressed with the way it started up. I'm really looking forward to the next part to my car. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like if you like. Yeah. Don't like if you don't like, and we'll catch you in the next vid. Cheers.